On this week's episode of Midlife Ramble, I'm going to be answering your questions. I reached out to you on Instagram and I have a bunch of questions that we're going to review today, and also I've got some products I want to share with you as well. So go and get yourself a cup of something really nice and I'll see you soon. Hi guys, welcome back to this week's episode of Midlife Ramble. It's so good to be back. I took last week off because I just was busy and I couldn't get to my computer, but I'm back with a nice cup of tea. Do you like my cup? I mean, it's perfect for me, isn't it? I mean, it actually could just say this, couldn't it? Drinking decaffeinated Barry's Irish tea today. I'm still not on the caffeine because of my stomach issues, but this is as good as it's going to get, decaffeinated tea. I'm fine with that. If you're new here though, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you're a regular, welcome back. I hope you're enjoying this series. So I'm Amanda. I'm located here in Toronto. I'm a personal trainer and nutrition coach. I'm the author of Menopocalypse. And yeah, that's still doing well. I can't believe it. So when I wrote the book, I wanted to have like this evergreen publication out there that all women could enjoy, and it seems to be working. So yay, that makes me happy. So I live here in Toronto with my husband and 2 boys, and we like it. It's winter here, but it hasn't been a harsh winter. It's been an okay winter, but I haven't even done any winter sports. I haven't had to put my big Canada Goose on or my Bluetooth heated hand gloves and socks. So it's been a bit odd, truthfully, that how relaxing and how sort of nice it is. I can go out for a walk right now with a small coat on. It's mad. But next week there won't be an episode because I am going away to March break, but I'm actually going to take my GoPro with me. This is like the GoPro handle I take and stick the GoPro on. We're going to the Isle of Skye. So fun story, my youngest son, when I was pregnant, I assumed was going to be a girl, and we'd just come back from our honeymoon in Scotland and England, and we went to the Isle of Skye. And so I was like, if I have a girl, I'm going to call her Skye. I thought it was a really nice name, and it had evoked a lot of memories for me. And it was a boy, and we were like, oh my god, what are we going to call it? And then when we had my son, we called him Elan, and we named him after this, which is a very famous castle in Scotland. So as you're driving to the Isle of Skye, you see Elan Donnan, and I think it might even be pronounced Island Donnan in Gaelic. And anyway, so we like the name Elan. It's spelt in a peculiar way, so people always get it wrong because the Gaelic language is like that. And we took him once when he was 4, and it was the cutest thing, and he saw the castle and he turned around and went, I can't believe they named a castle after me. So it was really sweet. Anyway, so we'll go by there on the way, and I'm going to spend a week in Skye hiking, and we're in this gorgeous farmhouse. And so I'm going to be taking some video from there and just sort of sharing my experience too. So tune in 2 weeks time for the episode after that, because obviously I have to come home and edit it. So today I'm going to go through some questions and answers. I put this out on Instagram and I asked people to send in, and I have a whole list of them here, so I'm going to go through as many as is humanly possible, and then after that I've got some products to share. I've had some stuff sent to me, and I haven't even tried it yet, but I'm just going to show you what it is. Maybe you might be interested. So yeah, there's that. Okay, I love my cup, by the way. It's from Etsy. Moldy Mugs, I think, is the name of the company. Oh, and I love it. It just is very me, and it's on both sides as well. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty perfect as cups go for me. So I had a bunch of questions, so let's go through them. The first one says, menopause can play havoc on your pelvic floor health. And if you don't have access to a pelvic floor physiotherapist or insurance, what do you do about it? And it's a really great question because, you know, we've been told all along, haven't we, just do Kegels, just do Kegels. And we don't really know that Kegels are appropriate for everyone. And I'll give myself as an example. When I had pelvic issues that were incontinence, I never had them when I'd had my children, but I had them in perimenopause, and it didn't make any sense. So I went to a pelvic health physiotherapist, and they do an internal, I was actually going to use the fingers, maybe I won't do that. They do an internal, and they get you to do breathing exercises. And my like perineum, or like my glutes, that whole back end was locked. It was completely locked. And so the pelvic floor is a muscle that is a sling that goes from the front to the back underneath. It like hangs underneath. Men and women have it. And it's muscle. And mine was constantly on. So because this was contracted the whole time, this front part wasn't working. There was nothing to help control the incontinence. And so I had to do less Kegels and more relaxation in that area. I was like sat on a tennis ball and relaxing the whole area. But if you don't have access to that, it's really complicated to know. And so there are a few things I would suggest. First of all, breathing techniques. So in my book, I have a whole section about this. And if you can't afford to buy the book, get it from the library. There's a whole section about this, and we know that the pelvic floor is part of a system of muscles, almost like a piston system. Say that 5 times when you've had a gin and tonic. Anyway, so you've got your pelvic floor and you've got your diaphragm. So it sits like this. So your diaphragm is your breathing muscle, and it sits right under your rib cage, and it drops down, expands and contracts as you breathe. And in addition to that, you have the transversus abdominis, which are these deep inter-abdominal muscles that you can't see. They're under our six-pack, ladies. And then we have multifidus, which are a series of muscles along the spine. So what happens is, as you breathe and your belly breathes out, you know, the thing that we don't allow ourselves to do, when your belly breathes out, you breathe out, your pelvic floor relaxes, your diaphragm expands, everything expands, and then so does your back. And then as you breathe in, the piston pushes up. So everything lifts up. So by doing controlled breathing exercises, breathing in, then your belly go nice and fat, and then your pelvic floor relaxes. Like, actually close your eyes and feel your pelvic floor relaxing. And then as you breathe out, you suck the belly up and up and up, and your pelvic floor will lift up on its own. It's really worth practicing the breathing. And my favorite type of breath is a box breath, because it's super simple. If we were to do that now, I always close my eyes when I do it, so you can close your eyes too. It's simply this. You breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hold that for 4, 3, 2. Your pelvic floor is relaxed. Now breathe out for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it out. Your pelvic floor is lifted. 3, 2, 1, and then breathe in again for 4. And so your belly's really expanding, then really bringing in. And so try that, because then you're actually working the pelvic floor muscle. And then if you want to know what Kegels feel like, the best explanation I've had is if you have a box of tissues, I don't know whether you want to try this, a box of tissues underneath you, and you're trying to lift out that top tissue. It's a light pull, like you're lifting up a blueberry, or a light, you're not grabbing like an orange and pulling it up, or it's not aggressive. It's a very gentle, light way of doing Kegels. And I think that, yeah, a lot of people are overworking or just don't even know where to start. And I think the place to start is the breathing. So there you go. Next question. Do you recommend HIIT training to deal with perimenopausal symptoms? That's a really great question. And so my hierarchy of like exercise would always be strength training first, because we know our musculoskeletal system is impacted through perimenopause and menopause. So if we know that our bones are going to get weaker and our muscles are going to get weaker, the stimulus you need for that is strength training. So if you could do that 2 days a week, that's great. HIIT training, on the other hand, isn't going to stimulate muscle growth. It usually is better for your cardiovascular output, and that's such a great thing. Now, the only thing I would say about that is that when you do your HIIT training, if you find that, say, the day after you're just completely spent, or you feel like you did too much, it might be worth, it is worth working with your body. Like, where are you? Do you really feel like you want to do 45 minutes high energy, high impact all the time? I mean, it usually raises our endorphins and makes us feel really good. But there are actually smarter ways to train. But I say exercise the way you prefer, do what you enjoy. But if you can get as 2 strength training sessions in a week, maybe 3. That would be a really great addition to your sort of like health and the health outcomes. And then if you want to intersperse that with some HIIT training, do it. But also find time for rest. Our body definitely needs more rest. And so I personally take days off, active days off. I might go for a walk, but I have days where I don't exercise, and you should too. Okay. Somebody said, I'm just happy to be part of your tribe. I'm happy that you're part of my tribe too, and I'm happy to be part of yours. That's awesome. Skincare. Now, I'm not an expert on skincare. I'm going to share some skincare products with you after this. So actually, I'm going to save the answer for that until I do that. So there. Also, I actually did one of my midlife rambles on vitamin C. So go back and find that one, because that one's, I love my vitamin C. You all know I do. Can you talk about the best natural ways to get good sleep other than proper sleep hygiene? Well, proper sleep hygiene is the way to do it. So what happens is we know that more women struggle with sleep issues than men, significantly more. And we know that more women struggle with this through perimenopause especially. We think that it might be something to do with progesterone, which is a natural, calming, anti-anxiety type hormone. And so when you lose that, a lot of women get really anxious at bedtime, or they fall asleep fine and they wake up in the middle of the night and they're full of anxiety too. And it can be super, super frustrating. If your sleep is disrupted because of hot flashes or night sweats, you might be a candidate for hormone therapy. So don't rule that out. A lot of women who struggle with those find that their sleep improves. So that's something that I would suggest. And if you can't take that, then there are other things so definitely there are pharmaceuticals you can take if that's the route you want to go down. Speak to your doctor. Things you could take from a supplement standpoint, maybe consider taking magnesium. Magnesium ages to get into your system. And so if you're going to do it, you need to give it a couple of months, see if it makes a difference. But taking it at bedtime can be a good thing. And magnesium glycinate is the easiest on the stomach. But if you're taking magnesium when you're pooping a lot, you get the runs, you might not need it, because your body's saying, I don't need it. That's why I'm crapping it out. Melatonin can be helpful. The data's mixed on that. Some people say you've got to cycle it. Some people say your body gets used to it. I personally haven't found that. I don't mind taking melatonin. I think it's really helpful. You can get melatonin in tart cherry juice. That's something that Dr. Stacey Sims recommends. Personally, never tried it because I've never been able to find it. And also, I hate to say this, I sleep really, really well. Sleep hygiene literally means setting the right environment for you to sleep. And I know you don't want me to talk about it, but if you try it for a couple of weeks, then you haven't tried it. You need to try it for a couple of months. And the routine that you do at bedtime, just repeat, repeat, repeat. Mine personally is, I have a cup of something non-caffeinated. I don't take caffeine at all at the moment because of my stomach issues, but I don't take caffeine in the afternoon. It has a half-life, and so it stays in your system. So have something non-caffeinated, or, like a herbal drink or something. Avoid alcohol for sure, because that just messes with your sleep so badly. Or reduce alcohol if avoidance is not possible. Then the other thing that I do is I read every night for 30 minutes, and it literally makes me fall asleep. And if ever I wake up during the night, which isn't very often, I simply open my book and read for 20 minutes, and it knocks me back to sleep. And I think that find something that is calming for you. Some people like to write a journal, write down their thoughts, get the anxiety out. So consider doing that. And then, sometimes like a relaxation, some type of exercise is helpful. Now, HIIT training before bed is likely to give you too many endorphins that are going to make you like buzzed. But maybe some light stretching, some mobility work, that could also be helpful. A nice hot bath. But stick with it, stick with those things, and also know that most women post-menopause tend to see improvement in their sleep too, so it might just be something that's transitional. Don't suffer though. Poor sleep sucks, and poor sleep can have, poor health outcomes, and so it's actually something you want to keep check on. Okay, I can't do HIIT workouts like I used to. I want to do strength, but I don't have the stamina. And is 5 kilograms enough? It's sort of a very vague question, but I'll still try and answer it as best as I can. You don't have to do anything you don't like because you're the boss of you. And so if you don't feel like you've got stamina for strength training, then I think you're probably starting in a place that's too hard for you. And I'm a firm believer that there is an entry point for every single person in strength training, because strength training for me and strength training to you could look completely different. Working with body weight is a great place to start, and you could just do 10 minutes a day. You might increase and start using mini bands. In fact, my next workout that's coming on here is a mini band workout called Iris as part of my matriarch series, and build up to it slowly. You don't have to try and like push a bus down the street for the very first session you do. And that's why in my book I wrote a 12-week program, and it's staggered and catered for every level. So 5 kilograms is approximately 10-12 pounds, I believe, and so that might be good for overhead presses and, you know, some arm exercises. I would feel like if you were doing squats with those, it might not be heavy enough. But honestly, don't go rushing out to buy new weights. Just try doing them body weight, and if it starts to feel easy, add in the 5 kilogram dumbbells, and then if that starts to feel easy, then you can increase them, right? But don't be in a hurry, because to me strength training is something that you're going to want to always do for many years to come, and it's not a race. So take your time and then try and enjoy it. And so that's the other thing, like, don't do it if you hate it. Try and make it enjoyable. I know people text me all the time and go, I hate strength training. Well, you maybe haven't found the right person to coach you. That's something I hope I can help you with. Okay, moving on. I haven't got too much time, so... Oh, okay. Here's another one. What do you think about black cohosh? Is it good for hot flashes? Well, so there haven't been very many data points on black cohosh, but I know a lot of people don't care about that. I do personally. I use a website called examine.com, and I love it because what they do is look at data on different ingredients. And the current stance on black cohosh is that it can have some efficacy in helping with some menopausal symptoms, including hot flashes. But taken in excessive doses can have cause liver problems. And in Germany, where it's prescribed in high doses, they've been seeing incidences of liver issues. And the other thing about supplements is all supplements aren't regulated. They don't have the standards of safety, efficacy, and quality that drugs do, say the drugs we take from our doctors. And so you're sort of playing a bit like whack-a-mole chance with the supplements that you buy. Some supplements are third-party tested. You could look out for that. But the problem is with buying a supplement is that if it says it contains black cohosh, you don't know the quality of it, how much is in, like whether it was next to something else in the field growing, because there's been cross-contamination with some black cohosh too. So I would just say, try and buy a reputable brand if you're going to try it. Give it a try for 3 or 4 months, and if there's no difference, stop taking it, because it can be expensive for those things, to keep like coughing up the money for, when we don't have a ton of great data. You know what does help with hot flashes though? Strength training. Just saying. We know it does. It helps reduce hot flashes. Okay. I think this will be the last question, because then I'm going to move on. PeriFit. It's an app and a device for home use. I've no idea what that is. So I can't comment on it. And so I'm going to quickly Google it now and see what it says. Isn't that terrible? Wasn't very prepared for that. So it says here that PeriFit is the ultimate Kegel exercise. Oh, right. So it gives you something you can stick up your, your vagina. And it looks like this. And it gives you feedback. Kegels with games. So I can't comment on this because I don't know. But you know what I would say? That looks a lot like a vibrator. And you know what I would recommend? A vibrator. Just get a vibrator, and then at least you can have some fun with it as well, right? You can play with your vibrator on the outside and then play with it on the inside. But there has been some data to show that actually it can improve the whole vaginal vulva area's function and help with obviously getting our mojo back as well, like when that happens, when we use a vibrator. This device uses proprietary algorithms to assess your performance. I love that. Against 5 key metrics: strength, endurance, frequency, release, and accuracy. Well, actually, you know, in fairness, they're things that the pelvic health physiotherapy will check for. Endurance doesn't mean like how long can you play with your vibrator for. It literally is like it's a muscle and it gets exhausted, and so it needs to be exercised. And if this helps stimulate exercise, I can't see how it would be a problem. I don't know how expensive this is. I'll check. But some women are too tight and they need to release, and some people are too loose and they need to know how to contract. And so I think what it probably does is allows you to contract and release. I know when I went to my pelvic health physiotherapist, she told me to go up a lift, elevator. Sorry, I forgot the real word for it then. And the count of 10. So I'm doing the contractions now. Contract 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10, and then go down the lift again at elevator, not escalator, right? And then go up for 9. So I used to do that up, and it's tiring. It's tiring. So this is actually expensive. It's 259 Canadian dollars. You can get a vibrator for 50. So that's where I'm telling you to go. But that's interesting, and I'm sorry I don't have any more information on that, but that's cool. I mean, I'm just glad they're looking out for women's health. Okay, I'm going to show you some skincare products, but first of all, I'm going to show you this gorgeous wool because I'm going away to the Isle of Skye next week. I'm going to be taking a knitting project with me. And so I went to a gorgeous wool shop the other day, and this wool is called Lichen and Lace, hand dyed in Sackville, New Brunswick, so Canadian. And this is sock yarn, and it's a super merino with nylon, which it just means it gives it a bit more robust quality to it, because when you wear socks, you don't want the heels and the toes to wear out. Anyway, look at this yarn up close. This is called seagrass. And like I say, it's been hand spun, hand dyed. And I just love the color. I'm just like, oh my God. And I want to do a textured sock, but I wanted to do a contrasting toe and heel. And so the shop sold these mini, teeny, tiny little skeins, and it's the same company, and this one's called Beetroot. So I'm going to have beetroot and seagrass, and this is the contrasting color I'm going to do for my sock. So I thought that was adorable, and that will be my go-to project when I'm away. Oh, by the way, my blue top, I'm nearly finished, and I'm not going to show you it until it's finished. I'm going to wear it for the next video. Okay, some products have come through the post that I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to sign off. So this one is a product from, I don't know, hold on. This is a product called MOJO Wellbeing, Still Hot AF. Our goal is to help empower and support women thrive during this time. Goodbye to the days when we don't talk about or seek solutions. Please find enclosed 3 best-selling products. Our Hot Flash Quick Cooling Spray. Oh, I might do a giveaway of that then. I'm going to think about that. Moisturizing hair oil. Ooh, I like the sound of that. And collagen restoring serum. I do like serum though. I don't care about the collagen restoring bit. You can learn more about our products by going to MOJO Wellbeing. Okay, I don't know whether I was supposed to promote these on social media, but I don't know. They were gifted. It came in a really beautiful box, look. So let's have a quick look at some of the products. So I am going to give this away. This MOJO Cooling Spray. I'm just going to do a giveaway, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to ask you to comment in below and just say why the fuck you should get this. Tell me. And I'm just going to send it out to you. I don't care where you live. You're worth it. So comment below if you want to try this. And I'll open the box to show you what it looks like, but I won't use it. I don't get hot flashes, which is why I won't use it. So it's in a really cute little container, and I'm going to see if I can smell it. Oh my God. It's like, oh, that's really smells divine. What's the smell that I can smell? Menthol. Ah, it's menthol. It's a cool, oh, here we go. It's got glycerin, vitamin B3, witch hazel, and menthol. Yeah, anyway, that could be yours. Let me know in the comments. And then the other two products which I will use this week are the moisturizing hair oil and the serum. So the serum I will definitely try, because I might do a post on serum, because I have my favorite that I use from Stripes. I think they sent me some more of that. I'm going to show you. I have my favorite from Boots, and they're 2 different price points, and then I'll compare it to this one. Because when I use my vitamin C, I do the vitamin C and then I put a serum on every time, because I just like it. Oh, so let's have a look. So let's have a look. Okay. And it dissolves really quickly into my wrinkly man hands. And it doesn't smell of anything, actually. Which is quite nice, because sometimes when things smell too much, you don't want to use them, right? We have a sensitivity to smell. And this is a hair oil. So let's try this one. Oh, I put too much on, of course. Why don't I put it on my hair? Hold on. I don't even know if you're supposed to... You're maybe not supposed to put it on dry hair. I'm probably going to have to go and wash my hair now. Should I have read the instructions? Okay, that doesn't have a smell either, which is a shame, because, you know, I love the smell of, like, the Moroccan oil. Oh, listen to this. I'm so wrong. This is why I'm not an influencer. Spread 2 to 3 pumps of the oil between your hands. Apply to the lengths and the ends of clean towel-dried hair. Not on dry hair. Oh well. So after this, I'm gonna go and wash my hair. Okay. Anyway, I mean, I don't know why it needs to be for menopausal women specifically, but I think what they're saying is that, you know, our hair changes, our skin changes, and using a serum can be great. And then there's the hot flash thing. Okay. You know that I've worked with Stripes a little bit on a non-paid promotion at the moment, actually. They should sponsor my YouTube, my podcast, but they sent me this big box. Ooh, and it's so fancy. Like, it's so fancy. There we go. Real talk, real science, real solutions. And there's my buddy, because we're friends now. This box is gorgeous, actually. I'm going to keep the box. You know, I'm going to keep the box for. I'm going to use it for my knitting. Of course I am. Of course I'm going to use it for my knitting. Now, there are products in here that I've used before. This is my favorite product. It's called the Power Move, right? The Power Move is, I think, one of the nicest skincare products I've ever used. It just feels amazing. Also, you know, I asked them to send me a refill because I have the original bottle, so that's really great. So what I do is, I think, just take this off, and it pops in. So it's a reusable one, which I love. That's so great. But this contains something called ectoine, and that's supposed to be like lighter than hyaluronic acid. And honestly, when you put it on, it just feels like your skin feels like velvet. And I've been waiting to get this because you can't actually get this in Canada yet. I think they're looking to bring it into Canada, but you can get it in the US. It's a little bit more expensive than what I would usually spend on myself, but I'm going to do a review of that. Some other things that are in here are Oh My Glide. That's a lube. Lube up, ladies, when you want to have sex or use your vibrator. Now, this is a Play oil. It's not a water-based one, and I have used it and it feels odd to use an oil and not like a slippery lube, but it's nice as well. And it's moisturizing too. There's a body oil called the Full Monty. And this is the type of thing that I love, and I actually love the smell of it, but never use. I don't know about you, like I get out of the bath and I'm like, oh, I just want to put my pajamas on and go to bed. I can't be bothered to do the whole. But you know, when I go out and I wear something sleeveless, I love to rub oil on because it makes me look more muscly. So I might use it for that. The other thing that was sent to me is some hair products, and I'm going to hold on to these and maybe talk about them another time, because my hair, I don't really do anything with it, but I have used the Crown Pleaser, which is just a mask that you leave on and then wash off. And this one is a thickening scalp serum, so it's really for the scalp, not for the hair. But this is why I wanted to share with you. They have a new evening product. Now, so I use Retin-A from the doctors, you know, like prescription, the tretinoin, very light, and I use it twice a week. Although I'm telling you I use it twice a week, I haven't used it for months because I'm rubbish. I actually go to bed, clean my teeth and just fall into bed. But if I was doing like I would want to do, what I would do is wash my face with CeraVe, put on a Retin-A, and I put like a pea size on and I just rub it all in twice a week, and then I put like a really nice moisturizer on, right? And it's nice. Well, this product is called Evening Wear. I just love all of her containers, by the way. They're so nice. Let's see what it says. Blending potent natural active ingredients and a gentle retinoid, this rich and nourishing cream formulated for menopausal skin boosts elasticity, couldn't say that word, helps with firmness and density, and can help reduce the appearance of fine lines to reveal a glowing complexion. So this is where it uses that product called Ectoine, and this with hyaluronic acid and retinol is their magic ingredient. But that's not the cool thing. I don't know what this is like, and I am going to try it. But this is the container, and look at this. Ooh, how cool is that? You squidge it out. Their whole thing is they wanted to make environmentally sound products, so we can reuse all of these and, you know, get new inserts for them. While it's out, let me try it. I put it on my face because I don't have any makeup on my face. It smells nice. Yeah, like I think I look like 30 years younger already. Awesome. It smells so good, actually. Okay, I'll give this a go and I'll report back. Okay, my loves, I'm done. I hope that was useful. I did my Q&As. I showed some products to you. All is well in my books. Nothing else is going on that's too exciting. Well, there is some exciting stuff, but I can't share all of it. But I will see you in 2 weeks' time. So remember, I'm going to the Isle of Skye. I'm going to be doing loads of hiking and taking loads of pictures. I just love the place. I love the Scottish, so much so that I married one. My kids love Scotland, and it's got a special place in my heart. So I'm looking forward to sharing my travels with you. Take care. I'll see you next week. Sorry, I'll see you in 2 weeks. I just said I'm not going to see you for 2 weeks, and then I went, I'll see you next week. Fucking hell. I'll see you in 2 weeks. But remember, if you want this, I'm going to send it out to you. So tell me why you should get it in the comments. Bye for now.